I often ask people who are learning English, what's the hardest thing about speaking in English? And their answer is, I need more vocabulary, and this is why I think that's wrong. Hey up, mate. Cheers for finding this video today. I appreciate that. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Dan. I'm a British English teacher, and I'm here to help you feel more confident when you're communicating in English. Now, today, I'm going to be talking about a big mistake that people make when it comes to feeling more confident when communicating in English. They often feel that the problem is they don't have enough vocabulary. And I kind of disagree. So let's talk about why. Let's jump in. So, the traditional way that languages are taught to people, I believe, is very ineffective. I know it's very ineffective because in school I learned French for 2 years and Spanish for 1 year, and I don't know anything. For some reason, I remember the word un sacapuntas, which is a pencil sharpener in Spanish. And I know how to say, oh, je ne comprends pas. I don't understand in French. Like, useless, absolutely useless, right? And the traditional method of teaching somebody a language is they memorize a bunch of stuff and then they spit it out in the correct order. That's basically what traditional language teaching is. And that's why people feel that, oh, I just need more grammar. I just need more vocabulary. Like, that's the problem. I haven't memorized enough things yet. That's why I'm not able to communicate. It's because I haven't done enough language learning, right? And maybe this, you're worried about tenses. Maybe this is you're worried about, using the correct grammar pattern and so on. I mean, this is kind of an anxiety that comes from it, but traditional way of learning languages, I feel, is really ineffective. Now, grammar is one thing that people get overly obsessed with. And for me, grammar is like learning the rules of the game. Like, let's say football, for an example, right? Learning the rules of the game is important. You need to know that you can't pick the ball up and, whatever else rules, you need to know what offside is. But spending years just memorizing the rules doesn't make you any better at playing football. You know what I mean? You're not going to suddenly be a world-class striker because you spent ages reading rule book. It doesn't work that way. So if you want to, you need to know some grammar, but it's not a year-long thing. Like, you should kind of read the rules once and pick it up as you go along, to be honest. But, grammar is not the be-all and end-all. Vocab is important. Let's get this right. You need vocabulary. Without vocabulary, you can't do anything. But it's not a magic cure to all your English problems. Like, it's not going to fix everything. If you just think, okay, I'm not very good, I'm not very confident in speaking, I know I'll learn 300 new words, how is that going to fix the problem? It's not. Now, in English, there's what's called the core vocabulary. It's the Oxford Dictionary made a list of the 3,000 most commonly used English words, right? And if you know the 3,000 words on this list, and bear in mind, a lot of these words are things like and it, and be, and go. Really basic words that you learn day one. If you learn these 3,000 words, you can understand at least 75% of daily life English. 75% with 3,000 words. Imagine how much you can do with 75%. If you learn the core 5,000, which is an extra 2,000 words, that's like 95% of everything that you're going to hear and see on a daily basis. So why are you trying to learn 20,000 words when 5,000 will get you 95%? And like I said, one of my biggest bugbears in this world is these fucking Instagrammers that are like incredibly old-fashioned and formal English to try and make you sound fancy when it don't fucking make any sense at all. Like, instead of asking somebody, what do you think about this? You could say, excuse me, sir, perhaps what is your opinion about this particular topic? Now, fuck off. Like, nobody needs that. Just vocabulary. Nobody's going to think you're smart. Nobody's going to think, wow, that guy's super intelligent because he used an academic English word from C2 textbook. Nobody cares. Honestly, we don't care. Just focus on what you actually need to use the language for. Oh, I got a little bit angry then. I could feel it. Anyway. Next, imagine you're trying to build a table, right? So you've got some wood, you've got some nails, and you've got a hammer and a saw and whatever else, right? So you've kind of got everything you need there, but you're like, I don't really know how to build a table. I don't feel very good building a table. I'm not sure how big I need to cut the wood. I'm not sure how many nails I should use. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to B&Q or whatever it's called, some hardware store, and I'm going to buy like 3,000 more nails. I'm going to buy 5 new hammers and maybe 3 or 4 new saws. And then you come home and you're like, is that going to make you any better at building a table? Is it? I mean, maybe you've got a saw that now does a different kind of thing. But if you don't know what you're doing with the basic ones, why are you getting the advanced stuff? If you want to build a table, practice building a table, mate. Don't spend time and effort learning about other tools that you could use when you can't use the ones you've already got. So this is kind of the same thing. What's the point in learning more vocabulary and grammar when you can't do the basics? And another thing that really, really winds me up is the language industry, the language learning industry. You know, the companies that make a lot of money on people learning English. They love it that you think this way. They love it because they can tell you like, mate, I understand you don't feel very confident. Don't worry. All you need to do is buy this app with this little bird on it that gets angry if you don't do your reviews every day. Don't worry, mate. All you need is another textbook. Just one more textbook and that's going to fix everything. It's only £19.99. Just buy it. It'll solve all your problems. Don't worry. You just need this one more course. It's easy. Just one more course. It'll fix all the problems. You're so close. You just need a little bit more. Don't know about you, but that absolutely boils my blood. Takes advantage of people because it's not going to fix your problem and it keeps you on an endless cycle of running on the hamster wheel thinking just one more, just the next thing, just the next thing, and it never gets any better. So, yeah, I don't like that, to be honest. Right, anyway, that's why I think it's wrong that you feel vocabulary is going to fix all your problems. Now, let me explain why I think practice is better than more language. Doing something is better than knowing something when it comes to applying. You know, let's imagine your goal is to learn to play piano, right? You could know everything there is to know about a piano. You could you could read the textbooks, you could learn to read music, you can study where all the chords go, you can memorize all the finger patterns and the scales, and you could spend years listening to other people talk about pianos. And then you sit down at a piano. Doesn't mean you can play it, does it? I mean, maybe you'll be able to do a little bit, but unless you've actually sat down and done it for a long time, you're not going to get any better. So if you want to play piano, the best way is to play the bloody piano as much as you can. If you practice every single day, you're going to be so much better than somebody that spent 10 years learning about different scales and stuff. It's just a fact of life. Also, it's like another thing that people don't understand is English is not an information-based transaction. English is more about application. History and geography and chemistry are information-based subjects where you learn the facts and you regurgitate them. English is about application because there's no one exact correct answer. There's lots of different ways and it's all subjective, right? So it means that they treat it like you just need more information, but actually what you need is more application. And I guess the best way to talk about this actually is if you learn a grammar pattern once, right? And you're like, okay, jobs are good and I've finished, I've learned that grammar pattern. Next. That's not going to work. It's like going to the gym, picking up a weight once and be like, okay, I've done that one. All right, doesn't mean you're going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, does it? You've got to do it loads of times, and practice in English is the same, right? Speeding up your progress by applying what you've already learned it is really important as well. Like, you don't know what you actually know until you try and use it. Like, in theory, you know loads of stuff, but in a conversation, if you can't find any of that stuff, what's the point? So test your weak points by trying them out. And progress is more important than perfection, and you only make progress through practice, basically. And I think perfection, like I said, is a lie that keeps you stuck, and progress is way more important. The only way you make progress is practice, and practice builds confidence, and that's what we're looking for, and that's why practice is more important. So here are some things that you should start trying to do today. Start practicing speaking or practicing whatever for 15 minutes every single day. 15 minutes is nothing. It could be 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at lunchtime, 5 minutes in the evening. You can find 15 minutes a day. Everybody can find 15 minutes a day. And you've got to consistently practice speaking every single day. Which is a big part of my BritSpeak Mates community, why I do daily homework challenges, so you don't have to worry about it. You just go there, look at the challenge, do it, it'll take you 10 to 15 minutes, and then your practice is done for the day. You don't have to worry about it. And when you submit your homework, your daily speaking challenge, I'll give you feedback on what you did well and what you didn't do so well, so you can do it better next time. So BritSpeak Mates will help you do that. But even if you don't use BritSpeak Mates, 15 minutes a day, practice, set a schedule, and do it. You can practice on your own. There's nothing wrong with practicing speaking on your own. You know, a lot of people say, but Dan, I've got nobody to practice with. You don't need anybody to practice with. You can practice on your own. Shadowing, great way to practice on your own. Reading stuff out loud, very good way to practice on your own. There's loads of ways to practice speaking if you're on your own. So stop making excuses. You can find people to practice with online. The BritSpeak Mates community, another great way. There's other people there that you can practice with. You don't have to do it on your own. You can do it on your own, but you don't have to. There's ways to find speaking partners. There's apps. There's ways to find native speakers, language exchange. There's always ways to do it. So find people to practice with is another thing that you should start trying to do. We talked about it earlier, but record yourself speaking, even though it's weird and awkward. At the end of every single day, when you get home from work or school or whatever, you've had your dinner, you've had your bath, and you're getting ready for bed. Take your phone, open the voice recorder and be like, today I went to the supermarket and I bought 12 tomatoes and 3 onions, or, you know, whatever weird thing you did today. Do it every day. Why not? What you got to lose? And you'll start noticing patterns, you'll start noticing weaknesses, and you can work on them. Good stuff. And you can track your progress and reflect on your progress by what I do with Japanese. I keep like a little log. I write down, what did I study? What materials did I use? And then I write down, how did I feel about my practice? What were good? What were bad? What do I want to improve? And by tracking those things, I know where I'm going. So this is something else, like reflect on your practice and get feedback if you can. Like if you join BritSpeak Mates, you can get feedback on all of your practice, and I'll tell you what you should work on. But if not, tell yourself, like, oh, I didn't feel comfortable pronouncing the TH sound. Great. You know, you need to work on that tomorrow. And I think all of those things are proper important. So start practicing 15 minutes every day. Practice on your own, or practice with other people you find online. Record yourself speaking and make sure you track your practice and reflect on your progress. And that is one of the main things that you can do to improve your English. And that's why practice is more important than more vocabulary, mate. And yeah, good stuff. And I talked about it a bunch there. So, you know, BritSpeak Mates, $19 a month. You get access to the school community, daily homework with feedback that'll help you practice speaking. You don't need to worry about what to practice. Just do it. You know, live practice rooms, other speakers, live streams. You can ask me a question. I'll send you a video answer. All of that's included. So check it out. The link is in the description. And now it's over to you. What are you going to do to practice speaking English today? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for ways to practice speaking English, I suggest you check out this video over here.